In this lesson, let's look at miscellaneous options that are available for Oracle in DBOS Standby multi-platform. The first option is View Detail Log Gap Report. As the name implies, it provides you with a log gap report where it provides a difference between the standby and the primary. The transfer log gap signifies what is the number of archeologs that needs to be transferred from primary to standby. The archeolog gap provides you the difference or the number of archeologs that needs to be applied on the standby server. The time lag is 5 minutes. And let's look at the log gap again. I click on it and it's now 0 and the time lag is 1 minute. So it provides you the time difference between standby and primary as well. Along with that, it also provides you when was the last archeolog that was transferred, along with the next sequence that is needed for the standby and the current and the archive sequence on the primary as well. Now let's look at the next option. The next option is, if you click on advanced option, you can see edit DDC file. This option is used to edit your Oracle database configuration file for DBVisit and change parameters as necessary. For example, you can choose to compress the archeologs from primary to standby, and also options like apply delay lag minutes, which is an option that is externally available as well. You can also choose to use RMAN instead of SQL to apply the archeologs on standby. And along with that, you can also set log gap threshold settings like archeolog gap threshold, transfer log gap threshold. These are some of the parameters that can be modified directly from the GUI itself. It is always recommended to take advice from support team before changing these parameters. And the next option is recreate standby control file. So this option is used for recreating a standby control file from the primary. And the next option is refresh one data file. So this is used to refresh a data file from primary to standby. What happens is when you provide a file number here, it takes a backup of that particular data file in the primary, transfers the backup to the standby and restores that backup on the standby. If a particular data file in the standby is corrupted, you can choose this option to refresh that particular data file. The next is send one log file. For example, if you have a log gap report that exceeds a certain limit and you find that there is one particular archive log that is missing, and it is still available in primary, you could send that particular log file from primary to standby using this method. You have to provide the sequence number and the thread number. The thread number is mainly useful in case of rack, where if the particular log sequence belongs to thread 1 or thread 2, if it's only a single threaded, you just have to provide thread 1 here. The next option here is start stop databases. So you could choose to restart your primary or stop your primary database directly from the GUI itself. And you can also restart your standby database, start the standby database in read only directly from the GUI itself. This option is very useful if you want to check your consistency of your standby database by just starting in read only from here itself and then connect to your standby database and run some queries and then restart directly from the GUI. This option is very useful as you don't need to directly log in into the server and perform any of these actions. Next is if you want to send and apply archeologs manually. So this is where you can do backup and send logs, which will send that particular archeolog from primary to standby. If there are no archeologs present in primary, it will do a log switch and send that particular archeolog from primary to standby. Once that's done, you could choose to apply logs directly from here itself, where the particular archeolog that was sent will be applied directly to the standby. This is very useful if you want to apply archeologs manually or after a particular situation where there are too many archeologs that are generated and you don't want the automated standby update to do it, but you want to do it manually. Then you can use this option to send and apply archeologs manually. So these are some of the options that are available. There are various other options that are available, but the scope of this particular lesson ends with this. Thank you.